Shazam, issue 12, Josie Campbell writing with Emanuela Lupacchino and Mike Norton on the art. So, this kind of takes us to the next big step of this story, where now Billy is aware what the captain's been doing, and we kind of address the idea that they've kind of split into separate entities, to the point where he even goes and speaks to the captain in the Rock of Eternity to kick off the issue. And the captain tries to make him say the word and says it's, he's doing it for his own good. He's trying to help him. And Billy storms out and says, "No, I'm not saying the word. Leave me." And he actually sneaks out of the house, but both Freddie and Mary show up and be like, "No, we're still your siblings. We're still going to help you." Smash cut to the Shazvan. And again, Shavan sounds so much better. Like, I really want to talk to Josie Campbell about the choice of putting that Z in there.
Now, do you think that's because it's Freddie and Freddie's kind of a goofball?
I mean, so maybe. Every time I go to say it, I just want to skip the Z because it sounds better.
Yeah. Shazvan versus Shavan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him, the art there, I think this is Lupacchino. I can feel the like kinetic nature of the van, like it's weaving out of traffic just from that one panel.
Well, that's the thing though. I don't think it is. I think the speed lines are kind of just like almost in Freddy's imagination, because the conversation immediately is, wait, why can't we go faster? Why is it going so slow? And it turns out they can't go faster than 30 miles an hour because some parts of the engine fell out or something like that.
But if I gut it, this lady might get up to 35. Yeah. But it feels chaotic. Maybe not kinetic wasn't the right word. But I feel like it looks like he's trying to weave in and out of traffic, which I think is very funny.
So yeah, they take Billy to see his mum, and that's the main plot of the issue. Meanwhile, Darla, Eugene, and Pedro go with Hoppy into the Rock of Eternity to talk to the captain. And the captain explains that this bleeding from like the other dimensions or from the rock is Billy. It's tied to his emotions, and anytime he feels something big, that's what's causing these rifts, and we have to do something about it. So the big reveal in this issue, because Mary and Freddie go snooping around the house while Billy's talking to his mum, the big reveal is that Billy's mum's had another kid. And this kid has a bedroom in her house. There's paintings on the wall or photos on the wall of them on family trips. There's a happy little kid who runs in yelling "mummy," and like you get like, it's hard not to just instantly get how much hurt this is going to cause, because it's not just. This isn't just a case of like, oh, she got pregnant too young and gave him up to an adoption agency. Like, they had a crappy life living together. She gave him a shitty childhood until eventually he was taken away for his own good. And now
he was taken away or wandered away, whatever origin it is that they're using, right?
It varies,
then she just replaces him with a new kid.
And this new kid gets the perfect childhood. So Billy just storms out, the others run out after him. And yeah, he gets to the point where like the rock's starting to crack, the energy's bleeding around him. Even like Freddie and Mary realize that the emotions must be tied to what's going on with all the incursions of the various monsters popping out of pocket dimensions. And he finally says it, like, she's a good mum for him. Why couldn't she have been there for me? And he yells as monsters start coming through ripples in space and time, and all sorts are happening around. Those big Hydra-looking monsters are coming out. So yeah, he does say Shazam. Captain shows up, but it does feel like it's maybe too late. And ultimately is like, okay, the only thing I can really do to try and save the Earth is move the Rock of Eternity. We have to get it away from Earth. So the end of the issue is the captain pushing it away. Mary tries to offer help, but yeah. He turns around and says, Billy says to tell you it's too late, goodbye. So we get a big dramatic ending where now Billy's missing because the captain's had to fly off with the Rock of Eternity. It's no longer at the house, and they're left there on their own just saying Billy's gone. And the next issue it says, where in the world is Billy Batson? So, I mean, I think I really like what it's doing here, because this idea that he runs off, because take this as just a sort of exaggeration of what really is happening. is that he's went through this emotional shock. The mother that abandoned him now has a new kid that she's a much better mother to. And now the life that he has found with other people is now threatened because of that. Even if he wants to stay with them, she now has like a say that maybe he won't be allowed to.
Yeah.
Right? So he storms off, all these emotions. Like, you can imagine a kid running away after finding all this out. It just so happens that because we're reading Shazam, he's got a superhero reason to run away. And now, you know, where is he? And like, you know, it's making me think of the end of season 2 of the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where Buffy runs away from Sunnydale because she can't take everything that's just went down. I can almost hear the Sarah McLachlan playing as Billy flies off into the sunset.
Man.
Yeah,
because and it's not just that he feels like he's doing it for their safety, but he has ulterior motives. It's because of him, you know. Because if he just got his emotions under control, things would be fine, right? Like the Rock of Eternity wouldn't be bleeding and whatnot.
Plus, he's like 13, right? So his emotions are like the most heightened part of
all over. Yeah, hormones are hitting him hard, like a truck. There's an interesting thing here that there's some weird ghoulish-looking guy who is standing next to the alligator head people. That's like, oh, the time of monsters has begun. So I wonder if that's like a seeding for something, you know, like a storyline. Because I always like when they tie Shazam into like the Monster Men, and like or the Society of Monsters and whatnot. So I'm wondering if this is kind of setting that kind of stuff up.
I feel like that's someone that you like long-time Shazam fans might just recognize. Nothing's clicking in my brain for who this guy is, but
I don't know. Yeah, he's kind of ghoulish looking, and he says, "Go back to your creator and let the master know the time of the monsters has begun." And we don't see him again, but yeah, he's next to the crocodile-headed guys. And then we also had the bat creatures from a couple issues ago, or was that last issue? So.
Yeah, it was last issue because it was when the social security lady was going around the house.
Yeah,
social services.
Social services. Yeah, not social security. He ain't that old.
Yeah,
but I do like that they're kind of reestablishing that the captain and Billy are separate people, and that the captain's been trying to
It also points out though that that's actually kind of a new thing. They've kind of split because of this like. It's almost like the captain's become a different personality because it's the safe personality he can retreat to, right? So
it's his guard. It's his guard against the world.
Yeah,
you know, it's a face that he puts on, you know, so he can do all this type of stuff. So I like that.
This is not a Zura and R in the strictest sense, but what it is, it's more of a natural thing of like why people do kind of retreat into like not even a different personality, but like a different, like they'll protect themselves by acting tougher than they are or something like that. You know, that's kind of what the captain is to Billy right now.
Yeah.
But it's become literal because again we can do it literally because we're dealing with, you know, characters in a comic book. So so I think that's all good fun. I think the reveal was nice and simple, but was really impactful because it makes a lot of sense that this would mess him up, that his mum's got a new son. So I like it. I have no real critiques. The art is pretty solid. I don't feel like I noticed the difference in art is too much, I would say.
No, because it's handled pretty well. It seems like a lot of the early stuff is Mike Norton, right? But they're very similar. But when it starts crossing over to, I think when Freddie and Mary get involved, it switches to Lou Pacino. Yeah,
I think Norton's back towards the end as well, though. I think there's some stuff with that.
You think the Rock of Eternity stuff is more Norton?
I think whenever we're in the Rock of Eternity with the captain, I think that's Mike Norton, and I think all the stuff we're going to see the mom with Freddie and Mary and obviously Billy. I think that's
they mostly line up though too, so they don't. You know, it's not that stark of a difference when it does change.
No, honestly, I had to kind of really look at the faces. But even when the captain comes to see the other kids and they're in the bedroom, that's still Mike Norton. So whenever we're seeing those characters, it's Norton. Whenever we're doing all the real world stuff with the others, it's Lou Pacino. But yeah, it holds up together pretty well. I can tell if I'm looking for it. I can see it in the faces a bit.
Yeah.
But nothing too bad for sure. So good solid issue, I would say. What are you giving Shazam, Matt?
I'm gonna give this a 7.5.
Yeah, no, I think this is an all solid 8 for me. I think this is really good stuff.